everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today in Python tutorial series, we are going to talk about an input function. So what is an input function? Input function is used to accept the input from the user at the runtime. What does it mean? It means that the value entered is not static or fixed, but it is dynamic in nature, which can be changed timely. For example, I am writing a statement a is equal to 5. So what am I doing? I am fixing the value of variable a as 5. And as many as times I will run my program, the value of a will remain same. That means I have fixed the value of a. But this is not the case of input function. Input function is going to accept the input at the runtime. That means once I will execute my program, at that time, it will ask the user to give an input from the keyboard. So if I execute my program 10 number of times, then I can change the value of my variable 10 number of times. That's why we are calling it dynamic in nature. Let's learn more about it. Input function always accepts the input in the form of a string, or we can say that once the user gives input, then it gets converted into a string. So for example, that a user can enter either number or an alphabet from the keyboard. If the user is entering an alphabet, then it's fine. But if the user is entering a number, then those numbers will also be considered as a string value. And why is it happening? Because of input function. So if you need to do any mathematical calculation or you want to perform any arithmetic operator into your expression, then you need to do typecasting to convert the input into integer or float. So with the help of typecasting function, we can convert a string into integer or float, and we can perform any mathematical calculation after that. Next, this function stops the flow of execution of the program till the time it accepts the input from the keyboard. So what does it mean? It means that interpreter will not move on to the next line until and unless the user will not enter the input. Now, let's understand the syntax of input function. So input function, as I told you, that all the functions are containing round brackets along with it. Now input INPUT, this is the name of the function, and inside the round brackets we can have a prompt. Now what is a prompt over here? Prompt can be a string or any information, right? So we can say that name is equal to input. What does it mean? That we are going to accept the input from the user side. Now in this example I have not passed any information inside my brackets, so nothing will be displayed onto the output screen. We have to give the input from our side. That means I'll not get any information from my program. And that value will go and store into this name variable. Another example. Same I am going to take that name is equal to input, enter the name. So inside this input function, I have passed one information for the clarity. That means once the program will be executed, the user will get this wording, this sentence onto the screen that enter the name. And this is very explanatory statement that the user is supposed to enter the name only. Okay, so for the better understanding, we can pass any statement also inside our input function. So I'm going to show you this with the help of coding. So this is my script mode, right? As I told you that what is the difference between interactive and script mode earlier in my tutorials. So this is the script mode and I'm going to perform one program. If I say a is equal to 5 and print a, right? So what will happen? How to execute this? Click on run module. Now it is asking me to save it. Although it is already saved, but it is asking me to save it again and again before execution. So click on OK. Now I am automatically redirected onto my interactive mode and I am getting the result as 5. So let me adjust my screen. I'll show you the execution in this way. So I have taken the value of a as 5 and I have printed a only. So value of a is 5 and it is only printed. Now if I'll run the same program another, I'll get the same result. Third time again if I'll execute, I'll get the same result third time also, because the value of A is fixed. But now I'm going to change it into input, right? So what does it mean? That I'm going to accept the value at the runtime. So now run it, run module, or I can directly press F5 key also. So now I'm getting a cursor over there. So I'm writing 4, press enter, and I'll get the result as 4. So whatever the input I am giving at the runtime is going and stored into variable A, and the same value is printed by my print function. Now again I'm going to execute it, press F5 key. Now I'm getting the cursor over there. Okay, so this time I'm going to enter 9, press enter, and I'll get the same result. So my input function is going to give me the values which are dynamic in nature. That means as many as number of times I'll run my program, I'll execute my program, those many number of times I'll get the different input and accordingly the different output. Now, I'm going to pass one statement here. Enter a number. Right? Okay. Now let's run it. F5 key. Press enter. Now it is asking me enter a number. So have you observed that whatever the information I am passing inside my input is coming over here onto my output screen, and I'm getting the cursor after that. Now I'm going to enter 2. Okay, so it is returning me 2 with the help of print function. Now another point is that, as I told you, that if the user is also entering the number, then also that is considered as a string value. So we can check the type of my A value also. And how can I do it? Print type of A, right? Let's run it again, F5. And now I'm getting enter a number. So I'm entering 5 over there, and I'm getting the class as string. That means this value is of type string. This is not integer, because my input function always accepts a value in the form of a string, right? Another example, that enter a value, I'm going to run it, F5, enter a number. Now I'm going to press any alphabet. R I have entered. Now again it is showing me that this is the value of string type. So this is how my input function works. Another example is that, as I told you, if I want to perform any mathematical calculation, so I need numbers, right? Now if I say that I am accepting two values, b is equal to input, enter another number, right? And then print a plus b. And now I am removing this, and type also I can remove. Yeah, now I'm going to run it. So I'm accepting basically two values now, and the addition of these two numbers will be displayed. So how does it work? F5, enter a number, I'm entering 3, enter another number, 5. Now 35 is displayed instead of 8. Because here my plus operator is not working as an arithmetic operator, but it is working like a concat operator. So between both the strings, concatenation operation happened, and as a result I'm getting 35. Both the strings are added together. 3 plus 5 is equal to 35. But I want the result as 8. So as I told you that we can do typecasting over here. So for typecasting, what can I do? I can change it like A1 is equal to int of A. That means I am converting this A value into A1 as integer. Okay. Now B1 is equal to int of B. So in my B1, I'm getting converted value of B into integer, right? And I'm going to add A1 and B1. So let's run it again, F5, press enter. Now it is asking me enter a number. I'm entering 2, another number I am taking 4. So I'm getting the result as 6. Because now my numbers, now my input is converted into integer, and after that I have added these two values together. So I'm getting the desired result now. Simply in place of these two things, what can I do? That means I need not to convert them in this way, but here only I can write int. So this input enter the number, this whole statement I have taken inside the int function. Similarly, I can take it here also, int input enter another number. Now I'm going to change my A and B. So I'm going to perform the addition of A and B. F5 key, press enter. Now it is asking me enter the number 2, 4, and again I'm getting the same result. So this is how we do typecasting here along with input function. So let's move back onto our PPT. Typecasting can be done with the help of type conversion function, right? And we know about type conversion functions: int, float, list, tuple, or complex also. Now, for example, that first I'm accepting a name, that enter the name. So obviously I'm going to accept the name in the form of a string. So I need not to do any typecasting over here, but directly I can use my input function. Another example, if I need to accept the roll number of a child, right? So roll numbers are always in the terms of integer value. So here I will use my int function to explicitly convert my string value into integer. Another example, if I want to calculate the weight, so weight can be in decimal also. So float number is there for the fractional part, right? So here I am going to convert the value into float value. So I can use float explicit built-in function. Another example, list. As I told you, list, tuple, and dictionary, these are my sequences which contain multiple values one at a time, right? So list also I can accept with the help of list function. And inside, if you observe, there is a pattern that input function is necessary to be used. But along with input, we can use float, int, list in whichever type I want to convert my data. Another example, similarly, as we have accepted the list, we can accept a tuple also. So let's have a look at how does it work. So I'm coming back over here, and if I say, let me mark it as a comment. So I'm going to take another program. So three these inverted commas are used for marking a comment. So I'm going to accept over here. I'm going to take weight. Okay, weight is equal to input. Enter the weight of, enter the weight of potato. Right? And I'm going to print weight. So I'm using it without float. So let's have a look. How does it work? So it is asking me enter the weight of potatoes. So let's say I'm saying 34.4. So it is returning me 34.4. Now let's check the type. So I'm going to write print type of weight. Right? F5 key, press enter. Now enter the weight. So I'm going to enter the same and it will return me string. That 34.4 is of string type value. Now let's change. Now here I'm applying this float function for explicit conversion, right? So F5, press enter. Enter the weight of potatoes, so 34.4, the same value I'm going to take. And now it is returning me 34.4 along with float value. So now my value is converted into float. Another most important thing I want to show you that let's run it. So enter the weight of potatoes. Let's say the potatoes weight is 34, not in the fraction. So what will happen? It will return me 34.0 because we have used over here float function. So float function always displays a value in terms of fractions. And there is no fractional part over here in 34. So it is adding 0.0 itself. Similarly, I can show you one more example that if I am going to accept an integer value and I'll enter the float value, then what will happen? F5 key, press enter. It is asking enter the weight of potatoes. So I'm going to enter 34.4. 4. Now it will show me an error because here I have used my int function and I am going to accept the value as float number. So my integer will not at all accept any float number because as I told you in my previous session also that int occupies 4 bytes of space in the memory and float occupies double space than your integer. That means 8 bytes of memory space. So integer is a shorter number than float. So short number cannot be converted into a bigger one, but yes, bigger number can be converted into a short one. So this is the difference between int and float. And accordingly, your input function is working over here. Another example I want to tell you that as I told you, we can accept the list or tuples also. So I'm going to show you that also. List1 is equal to list input, enter the value, right? So multiple values we are going to accept over here, and then print list1. Side by side, let's print its type also, type of list1, right? So complete program we have written once a while. So press F5 key from the keyboard, press enter. Now it is asking me enter the values. I'm going to enter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 values I'm entering, press enter. Now it is displaying all the values in the form of a list. Similarly, I can accept the tuple also. So I need to change only this portion. That means list into tuple I'm going to convert. Press F5 key and enter the values. Now this time I'm going to accept A, B, C, D, E so that I can show you both the examples. And now my values are converted into a tuple and the value type is also displayed as tuple. So this is how we do typecasting with input function also, and how do we accept the values at runtime. And we have learned that what is the difference between the static value and dynamic value. That if I'm going like I'm showing you again, I'm running the same program again, and this time I'm going to accept another values like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, earlier I accepted A, B, C, D, E. Now, if I'll press enter, then my tuple values are changed to this, right? And it is showing me this is a tuple. So as many as number of times I'll run my program, I'll execute my program, those many number of times I can enter the different values. So my values are dynamic in nature if I am giving the input at the runtime. So these are the basic differences, and this is how my input function works. I guess this is enough for the day. So I will come with more information in my next tutorial. Keep watching, keep practicing. Till then, stay safe, stay happy.